10:51, officers were dispatched to the Heritage Room for a large fight in progress. First officer arrives on scene at 10:54, notifies them that there's a large fight upstairs, which would correspond with the Heritage Room. At 10:56, they say that they're busy but secure, so the fight must be under control. Now at 10:57, another officer responds with there's a large fight in a parking lot and another fight in the East P lot, so East parking lot. And then at 10:57, another one advises that there's also another verbal fight in progress. Subjects are starting to disperse. At 11:12, then they give the okay, that the units are okay. And then we just have a series of status checks until 11:17. The officer responds that they're clear in front of the Union and that they are busy near Sherman Hall. A couple other officers respond that they're going to go ahead and move over to Sherman Hall. And the rationale for that was that's where they had the ambulance respond. And then anybody that wanted to get treated for pepper spray exposure or had injuries from the fight that wanted to receive medical attention could go there and do it. That way it was away from where the crowd and the fights were occurring. Yeah, in this particular case, the officer was had several individuals that he told to leave, disperse, and they failed to do so. And if later on one of those individuals, I believe, was identified and arrested, and if we are able to identify some of the others, we will. And if you look at the video, you see one case there where it appears that there may have been an initial fight that ended up, I believe, was probably one of the individuals trying to pull another person back from getting to the fight. But the officer that was using the pepper spray's job was to keep those individuals away from the officers that you can't see that are on the other side of the car wrestling with the guys that were actually fighting once that fight broke out. Because there was no pepper spray dispersed until the fight broke out. And then it's the officer's job to keep the crowd away from those officers that are trying to get the other subjects subdued. Usually it's directly at somebody that is the agitator in the crowd that is not following commands. That is where the pepper spray should be directed towards. So if everybody's told to disperse, you need to disperse, and you continue to make steps, I look at you and say, you need to disperse, you no longer do that, then I pepper spray you. But my intent is eventually that I want to get you arrested. Yes, we had our mirror knocked off of one of our cars. Yeah, and that individual was arrested. He was observed doing it, or observed that it occurred, and Office of Public Safety arrested them. So it should be in the jail log. But the one thing that needs to be continually stressed in this is that it had nothing to do with the march. This was just a BSA dance that fights broke out at.